yesterday regarding climate change and climate justice. Now, there was a Zoom conference or presentation that was put on by the State of the African Diaspora, SOAD, speaking about the crisis of climate change and climate justice. Very, very impacting presentation. I must say congratulations to the State of the African Diaspora. Congratulations to the coordinator, Ambassador Sharon Paris Chambers. And I think she's on now. She on yet, Obi? She's on now. So we're going to, since we're kind of a little behind time, we want to make sure we get at least 20 minutes in of this for her to do a review of what took place and where do we go. The most important thing now, what are the solutions and where do we go from here? Good morning, Theo. Good to hear you this morning. And of course, so gracious of Ambassador Sharon Chambers, who's traveling today to still be able to do the interview since we weren't able to do it yesterday. Good morning, Ambassador.
Blessed love, and Theo is right behind me.
Yes, Mr. Theo Chambers, Guru Chambers. We say good morning to Guru.
Sent his love.
Yes, blessed love. So you're already at the airport, right?
Yeah, I'm here, I'm ready, and let's go.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it. So Sunday was a very profound day, that presentation. So if you could give the listener just a synopsis as to why and what was held on Sunday, and then we move through a little bit of, I know you have it all planned out, what person spoke about, and then where do we go from here in terms of the segments of this interview. Thank you so much for, participating, Sharon.
Oh, it's my pleasure indeed. The state of the African diaspora, responsible for the diaspora in and around the world, in all territories and all distributions, the Caribbean, yes, is responsible to take action when action can be taken by them. Even though they're not fully recognized by the UN, they are making their weight felt. When it comes to climate change, we have a representative that is going to be speaking to the UN. She is Alice Nome, and she is a director of SOAD, and she will be speaking, well, she began yesterday, and she'll be speaking through the 8th to defend our climate justice position. There's no way that the state could not get involved in this discussion. As a matter of fact, it is so committed to its people that it formed the Emergency Response System, ERS, at the time of the February 2021, when the Ukraine war with Russia began, with an effort to evacuate students who were stranded there. And so we really planned to get a plane and to get the students out. And what transpired was very, very interesting. The sponsors did not come through, but our commitment remained, and we touched base. We provided logistics support for the students, and we provided a network of coalition partners to bring aid to those students. And we are moving into other areas with earthquake victims and also orphans who are stranded in Kyiv in Ukraine, and I wouldn't say stranded, but rather who need help, medical help,
they need support, they need
and
help.
Care. Yes. So our attention is turned to climate change because we realize the urgency of the matter. We've assembled a beautiful team on the 4th of December, which included myself, our Director General and President of SOAD's President of SOAD's Parliament, His Excellency Melvin Brown, came together and he invited Louis Georges Tin, our Prime Minister, and other members of our government and ambassadors and excellencies to join friends from around the world to listen to the presentation of 3 experts.
Experts they were. Boy, I tell you. You guys did a good job in putting those experts. Awesome. Mitchell,
yeah. Our very own senior lecturer at the University of the West Indies, who's responsible for the biochemistry laboratory. She has many letters behind her name, but also great experience
Experience, yeah.
in I said managing experiments and working in many aspects with the soil, our soil, the Caribbean soil, to extend the life and the biodiversity of our plants and our people. So we were happy to have her, and she wants to tell us what to do about climate change.
Mm-hmm.
And she gave us a few points. We'll get back to those few points. Or let's see if I could give you some of those points now, which is simply for us to get familiar with the research that's
Mm-hmm.
out there.
How can
Also,
it be accessed for her in particular?
how can we get access to her?
No, to the information that's out there. You said that persons can get the
Okay.
information. Mhm.
Well, she gave us a PowerPoint, which is virtually an outline of what to do
Right.
and how to do it, where to go, and the source.
Mm-hmm.
So this PowerPoint is for SOAD, and anyone who requests from you or myself can have access to the information.
Mm-hmm.
What is
Can we put
key,
it
she
up on
said,
the
is that the Caribbean needs data,
Mm-hmm.
data about what is really happening regarding climate change, our flooding situation, landslides, and our soil situation. We need data.
Mm-hmm.
The Caribbean sometimes is lumped up into North America when they look at climate change and climate action. We are not being seen and taken relevant. We're not being made relevant. And she says this needs to change. And we have to approach the right partners to make sure this is happening. But
Mm-hmm.
you know that we have such a center for resiliency and climate action here in Jamaica
Mm-hmm.
at the University of the West Indies. And I think they should be speaking. Mr. Edmund Bartlett is the chairman or vice chairman. We had Olivia Rose, who is a UK activist, and
Very
she's been so
passionate
for
boy.
40 years of her life.
And I did interview her. We remembered some months ago. It was her that I interviewed, right?
Yes, you did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Very passionate.
Um, she was the co-moderator for two other speakers. One was Angus Rose,
Another
who
powerful
did a
man.
hunger
Woo.
strike for 3 months, for quite a while. He has many relatives,
Nieces and
cousins,
nephews
nieces,
he was
and
talking
family
about.
members,
Yeah, his nieces and
mostly young
nephews.
people that he wanted to live for, but
Mm-hmm.
also to set an example for. So he put his life on the line to ask his government in South Africa to make a few changes
Mm-hmm.
that he felt they shouldn't have any problems with. But
It took
they
a while.
challenged him down to
Mm-hmm.
the wire. He almost lost his life
That's what you call
to,
commitment and passionate about what you're doing in terms of advocacy and activism.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
to ask government to change policy.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed, it is a powerful thing. Now, if he can do that, we are going to ask ourselves, what can we
What can
do?
we do? Yeah.
And what
What
should
should
we
we
be
be
doing?
doing?
And then she also invited Larch Maxey. He's a lawyer and a PhD.
Mm-hmm.
He's a scholar, an activist, and a researcher. And one of his activism is just stop oil. So people should look that up. Just stop oil.
Just
Use
stop
of
oil.
oil, the drilling of oil is
Mm-hmm.
another thing that's killing our planet.
Mm-hmm.
Use of fossil fuels. So we need to look at that carefully. He said three things: tell the truth, act on it, and know the science, understand the science. He says in 2 to 3 years, the CO2 gas emissions, if they continue to rise, will create a problem for humanity. Naturally, everybody knows that, but he said Africa and the Caribbean contribute the least,
And
but
then, yeah, and look what's going
they're
on with
suffering
us.
the
We're
most.
suffering the most, yeah. Isn't the irony of
Right.
that?
So
Yeah.
he he wants SOAD to continue its advocacy on behalf of all of the diaspora. He said that specifically. There's an urgency. Urgency is turn up, way
Turn
up.
up Tuesday.
We have to get off the fence. We cannot sit around and do nothing. He says, stop destroying the biodiversity. We must all come together. Someone else said that. Olivia Rose said that, and it was very, very powerful. She says, we are a united, vital force for change. And as such, we must all come together on this one thing that will either keep us alive
Make us
or
or
will
break us.
destroy us all. And there's no gender here, there's no race. Climate change and climate justice is something we do for Earth and for human beings. She says we may not have time for justice. We only have 2 to 3 years to shift these CO2 emissions. I'd like to send you some information where people can get access to Olivia Rose.
If you can put it on the live, if you could put it on the live.
And Angus Rose and Dr. Mitchell. Dr. Mitchell is right here in Jamaica. She is available through email at the ULI. I think it's Sylvia.Mitchell.
Yeah,
at the
Sylvia Mitchell.
university.
And Sharon,
Yeah.
can you put it when you're blocking? Can you include that on the live as well, please? Are you hearing me? Can you include that information on the live as well, so
Yes.
persons can pick that information up? I think it's very important. And what I'm recognizing too, a lot of
Yes.
people, the average person
Vital
is not
vital
very
importance.
is not very familiar with the terms. Some people still can't get their understanding of what climate change is. Some of them are just not understanding what some of these terms mean. So it would be good if also we could give some definitions when you're blogging as well to what these terms mean, so people can more
Okay,
tap
yes.
into
Because
what it is, what we're doing.
Yes, I asked the speakers. Yes, you are absolutely correct. I asked the speakers to define some of these terms,
Right.
and Dr. Mitchell did in her PowerPoint.
Yes.
Yes, we are going to have this on a quarterly basis, and we will always let you know so you can share it with your listeners. The next one will be in January, and thereafter it will be quarterly.
Right.
We'll be dealing with climate change, but we're going to deal with the brain drain and the brain gain in Africa as well.
Elaborate
as well
a bit
other
on that for
topics
us,
of
please.
education.
Elaborate on
Many
the
other
brain
topics.
drain.
Well, millions have left Africa because they're seeking economic improvement, better standard of living,
Right.
and better education, and that's why many of them were trapped in Ukraine. What would it take for African ministers of education to improve the education
There.
capacity, to
Right.
bring scholars in, bring educators in, so that our students don't have to go across the Mediterranean, across treacherous waters for a decent life, and to build the continent. These professionals are going to build someone else's continent, someone
it.
else's
That's
country.
it. Yeah.
If we do, I'll continue to allow them to drain, leave, and not come back. Many don't come back. Many send monies for their families. But few will come back. Perhaps we can create a different kind of scenario, narrative, so that more of our students can stay
To
home,
return.
even here in
Yeah.
Jamaica.
Yeah. I was gonna just ask you about even Jamaica now. In terms of Jamaica and the whole climate change and the climate justice, what can we do here? Where we stand right now, of course, we have Dr. Mitchell, who gave a very powerful presentation that spoke to the diaspora and just the world in general. But in terms of where we are here in Jamaica, as of course, including the Temple of Inner Peace and the Save Soil Jamaica campaign, what is it that we can do through these different initiatives or affiliates? How can we, make it work? What are the
We
first
can
steps?
ask our affiliates to be more committed to us by having regular monthly or quarterly sessions where we're teaching people in workshops, in communities, in forests, and going out to the farms like you did, to the Picky Head Farm, which is the first farm we visited. Well, Temple of Inner Peace is the first
Right.
property. Yes, it's a
Yes,
retreat, nature
course.
retreat, an oasis, as you call it. So we go to these places and we are taught by the experts, and we touch the soil, we earth, we ground, and we become one with nature. But the key is that we learn how to preserve the soil.
Right.
And Dr. Mitchell sent a beautiful video yesterday about treating the soil. And I think I sent it to you.
No, you
The things
didn't.
that we need to
Send it to
do
me,
to put
please.
back
Yes.
some of the peeling and roughage and things that we would normally throw away, to put that back
Right.
into the soil.
Mm-hmm.
And also what we're doing at the Temple of Inner Peace, when we pull up weeds, we don't spray a weedicide.
Mm-hmm.
We put the weeds that we pull up back around
Mm-hmm.
and cover. We create a
Dr.
cover
Ajamo, bless up
that we
yourself,
walk
Dr.
on. Yes.
Ajamo.
Bless Ajamu Naranga. Thank you so much for teaching us that instead of
Yeah.
spraying, we pull it up from the roots and then lay it back down on the earth to cover the earth.
Mm.
And wherever the earth is covered sufficiently, no weeds will grow there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But that makes so much
Right?
sense,
And
and
we
it's
also
so
taught,
simple. It's a simple procedure, and it makes so much sense, you know?
yes, and we're also taught that we could use ashes to keep away
Yes,
some
I know
of
about the
the
ashes.
insects.
Yes, I know about the
Yeah.
ashes. Yeah, over the time, people have been using ashes. Yes.
I've used lavender, a lavender water
Really?
mixture to get rid of ants.
Well, you need
We
to
actually,
market that. We need to market that, Oshun.
yes, we do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And
so
that get
there are
rid of
many
ants.
things, and
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Mitchell is key. She's protecting cassava, she's working with bamboo and other indigenous foods and food supplies that she wants to preserve. Because if we're not careful, we will lose our indigenous supplies of
Yeah.
food.
Yeah.
And then the imported foods, when they're not available, that means we'll go hungry. We'll end up
Mm-mm.
eating grass.
Well,
We
that
don't
might
want
be
to do
good.
that.
With chlorophyll.
And let me just give you a few of the numbers that I remember. One,
Okay.
400 million people are already refugees, and
Mm. Four
in
hundred
3 years, in
million.
3 to 5 years, yeah, 400 million
Mm.
from Olivia Rose, and in 3 years, 3 to 5 years, it could be 3.8 billion refugees. And
Worldwide.
refugees are running from war, running from uh, not having food, you
Mm-hmm.
know, desertification, drought, famine. And so that's a large percentage of the
Yeah.
earth
Yeah.
that's going to be in
Big time.
uproar.
Big time.
What can we do? What shall we do?
So this
You
is
know,
like
here in
another
our own Jamaica
pandemic.
to
It's
preserve
another
our own soil.
pandemic.
Save soil
Yeah.
Jamaica, save soul, save self.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very important activity. We need to take it seriously, and we need to send that message far and wide across this Caribbean,
Mm-hmm.
across this island of Jamaica.
Yes.
Saving our soil is saving our souls, ourselves, and saving
Absolutely.
humanity, because this needs to be done across the world. We joined
Mm-hmm.
Sadhguru, the mystic, Indian mystic, who's been doing this for over 40 years. But now the attention is ton up,
Turn it up. Turn
very,
it up.
very high,
Yeah.
very, very high. And we joined that movement. It's very important movement. Our life depends on it.
Mm-hmm.
We cannot not do this, not in this generation. This is what we are supposed to do so that our children have a future.
Yeah. That legacy. So, in
Yes.
terms of climate justice, define that. What I had some persons ask me questions. What does climate justice mean, or what
You
are we
know,
supposed to do?
it is leveling the playing field so that if persons were using up more carbon fuels around the world and greenhouse gases, right?
Mm-hmm.
Shouldn't they be paying the cost of that? But that's not the case. We need a balancing of this activity.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're looking forward to, that we can get a balancing so that countries who are, can, we don't have much to offset because we don't create the problem in the
Right.
Caribbean,
Right.
right?
Mm-hmm.
We need to be included. The Caribbean needs to be at the table
Of
when these
course.
discussions take
Of
place.
course. Yeah. But we are
Yes,
suffering the
and I'm
repercussion.
told that this is in league and in line with reparations.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same argument,
How
right?
so? How so? When you say it's the same argument when it comes on to reparations, define that statement you just made, or elaborate on it.
PM Tin mentioned that when he was discussing the discussion that Alice Nome will be having at the UN. She'll be chairing a roundtable on climate justice. and he said that it is in league with climate justice, this reparation. She may not go there directly to talk about it, but
Right.
it is the same thing. We need what is due to us after being disenfranchised, robbed, kidnapped, raped, taken away from a land that is ours. Now the land is being desecrated. Where is the justice? We
Where is
still
it?
don't have it.
Where's the justice for sure?
Yeah.
Now, coming up, you said you're having another Zoom presentation regarding climate change and climate justice. Is that going to be in January? Do you have a date or yet? Have you?
No, not as yet.
But I
We're
know
going to be
you.
working with River Rose or Olivia Rose to put that together very soon. But holidays are coming up on us, so
Right.
I'm sure it will be either announced just before or just after the holidays.
Yeah.
Hopefully, just
Excellent.
before.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Excellent. So,
Yes.
we have work. We have work to do. We have our work cut
We have
out
a
for
lot
us.
of work.
We have a lot of work, and we have to be more assertive when it comes on to this, because this is not a joke thing. This is a crisis on our hands here, and a
Exactly.
lot of
And
people
for
are not
people who
aware.
want more information about what SOAD is doing and maybe to join the State of the African Diaspora in their work, and they're doing work around the world in many, many areas, smart cities. They're creating new landmarks for people who, landmarks, I should say, statues for Marcus Messiah Garvey in Freetown, in Edina, and they're doing quite a few other projects. Let me see now. Building certain cities, lion cities, where lions have left a
And we're
certain
talking about
part of the
Africa now
world.
in that
It used
area.
to
Yeah.
come from Kenya, and they're bringing them back to Sierra Leone. There's a lot going on that we're doing. So can people please go to the state of African Diaspora.com? It's long. The state of African Diaspora.com. I'll put it in the blog
Yes,
so they
please.
can
Yeah.
read the state news and be kept up to date and get involved as a volunteer or as an ambassador, or minister.
Excellent.
Thank you so much for
Yeah.
this opportunity.
Yeah,
If
and
people
thank
want to
you.
reach me, I'm parischambers@gmail.com.
All right, people can check you out.
Parris chambers@gmail.com
Excellent.
or
And
876-275-3169 at WhatsApp, 876-275-3169. Thank you so much for staying with me on my journey through the airport. I'm now ready to go to Mobay Lounge.
oh, you're going to the Mobay Lounge?
And the people who are working
Wow.
at the lounge.
Mobay Lounge. Wow. And
So
Theo
thanks to
Theo is
Miss
still with you?
Fong, Miss Shelley Ann Fong. She does a great job here. We're the number one lounge in the Caribbean.
Woo, ooh, ooh,
In the,
ooh,
in the
ooh,
world,
ooh.
I think.
In the world. Wow. So you're going to be spending a couple hours there before you travel. And I know that wherever you go, you'll still have a mission. Hey, Theo! You traveling too? You don't go anywhere because I need you here.
Wherever I go, he's there. So he's gone.
Theo, how you doing this morning?
Ciao.
You okay? He's chowing.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
We're going to check out the
Yes.
Theo
Bless up.
conversation.
Bless up.
Bless up.
Thank you. Bless up.
Bless up.
All
We
right.
heard it from the other half, the sacred masculine.
All
It's a
right.
great day. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you. Beautiful.
One
Well
love to
done.
all your listeners.
Thank you. And I know, look forward to the blogging. We really look forward to that. Thank you so much.
Yes, it will
All
be
right.
there. They go to Facebook, Isis Miller,
It's Isis Miller and rootsfmjamaica.com.
and Roots FM Jamaica.
Roots FM Jamaica. Yeah. Right. All right.
you.
Have a safe
Blessed love.
travels. Safe travels. Have a great day. We talk later.
Thank you so much. One love, everybody.
Blessed love.
Blessed love.
Looking good. All right. That's Sharon Oshun Chambers, Ambassador Chambers. And of course, she's at the airport because she's traveling. She's heading to, I think it's Atlanta. Yeah, I think she's going to Atlanta. She'll be there for a couple of days. So we do appreciate, because we weren't able to have the program yesterday, we do appreciate the fact that she was able to come on today. We thank all of you who are on board on Roots FM Jamaica, on Facebook. You're on Denise Isis Miller, and also Twitter and YouTube and all of the above. All right, so thank you so much. We're going to take a little pause for the calls before we go into MEC We Talk Tuesdays. in just a moment. Soon come.